here. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite One-Eye Willie's favorite nerd. And today we are looking at the Iron Factory Bridge Watcher, or as you may know him, IDW-inspired Legends class Shockwave. And he is pretty impressive. Accessory-wise, just real quick, he only comes with this sprue. There's like a hand tree. It's got two posing hands and another holding hand and fist hands and then like a saluting hand, which is fine. It's cool. This is on loan to me from Robert D, so I'm not going to open up those and take them off. What's the point, really? You know, I think you get the gist. So let's talk about him. He's pretty cool. Surprisingly cool, actually. And I like Iron Factory, generally speaking. But let's talk about him. So the head has these silver bits painted on, and then it's light piping for the eye, which you know I hate. It's a ball peg, but it seems to be like a... no, the peg goes into the head, and then the ball joint sits inside the torso. So you get a little bit of the confused dog look. You get the swivel, good bit down, not really anything up. The shoulders are on the same typical joints. Basically, it acts like it's like a ball peg coming out from a hinge. So the hinge gets you the shoulder all the way up to there. Without using the hinge, you kind of got to use the hinge. It doesn't work around. I thought it would. And then on the ball peg, you get the swivel. You have a hose here connected, which is cool, and it doesn't really hinder the articulation, which is nice. Bicep swivel, single hinged elbow gets you past 90 degrees, and that does have a silver finish on it. And then we have translucent plastic for the laser. We do have this hollow gap there, which is a bit of a bummer. Same for the other side, except a translucent hand. You have a waist swivel. You got to kind of untab this from the back, not untab it, unlock, and then you can have the waist swivel, no problem. You have side hip flaps. They can get out of your way for the T-jointed ball joints to get you the full Van Damme and pretty much the full Monty. I say let's give it to them. Silver finish on the thighs with a thigh swivel. The paint isn't accounted for with the thigh swivel, so it is a tight tolerance, but it is there. And then I think that's a double jointed knee that gets you the full range on the knee. Silver paint there on the legs, the lower legs, and then the feet. Get you a heel spur on a hinge, and then a ball peg with an additional toe hinge, which gets you your rocker, and then an ankle tilt basically up and down. Back of the figure, just that. Otherwise, pretty clean, and even that cleans up fairly well. I think it's a really, really well done Shockwave, honestly. Size comparison-wise, there he is with two other Legends figures. And Quakewave because reasons. And lastly, there he is with the Warbitron Shockwave. Alright, so let's transform him. Open up the chest, and then flip the head down. FYI, you'll probably need a flathead screwdriver to get the head back up. Pull the arms up and around, yeah. And then you want to make sure that the side that has the gap is facing towards the bottom, and then flip that hand down. So same for the other side. And then in order to stabilize those two arms, bring the backpack up and around and encapsulate the arms with the backpack, bringing the front end of the backpack around to keep it all together. All right, so the legs are the more frustrating part. Rotate at the thigh 180 degrees. Untab this, and you can extend those down. We'll sort that out in a minute. And then the real nightmare. So open this piece here, and there's a gray hinge that connects the double jointed knee. I'm not sure if you can see it right there. You want that to go all the way around, and then this flat part of the knee to kind of hit the purple piece. The way I found that's best is if you bring the leg all the way around and use the whole leg to push the gray pin forward. And I still can't get it. Let's see if I can't use a little tool. There. No. It really sucks. I'm going to turn it back around this way. There it is. Oh no, but now I can't rotate it. It sucks. There it is. There it is. Great Googa Mooga. That is a terribly done thing. Close this up. Close the heel up. And actually, I don't know if you need to turn that around or what. Doesn't really matter. Rotate this down so that that sits like that. Unfortunately, we have to do it again. So open this up. Pull down so that you can use the whole leg to push that joint in. That one went a lot smoother. So that's a good thing. And then close that up. And then make sure that these are lined up appropriately. And tab them in. And I think that's it. I'll clean it up. We'll take a look at it. Flip this piece up here. But that's basically it. And there it is. The silver paint comes through nicely. The translucents come through nicely. This obviously adjusts. You can hold it. You could probably have a combiner hold it. I'm not sure what these ports are for. Maybe for their upcoming Bruticus? I don't know. That would be interesting. And this sucks. You know, that this thing has to poke down. That doesn't clean up well. But outside of that, it's pretty good. The engineering getting here, I actually, truth be told, I couldn't figure it out when I was messing with it off camera. I had to take these panels off and just see how it went in there because I couldn't get the one side to go. The other side went a lot smoother. You might say the other side moved smoothly, but for the most part, it was just pretty aggravating. Size comparison wise, there it is next to Tiger Tracks. Final thoughts wise, the negatives are clearly that one piece of engineering in the legs. The fact that the cannon sits outside, like the arm cannon sits outside the gun in alt mode. And like it is hard to get, even though you have the range, like you kind of have to have the arm up at an angle to get it straight out. Like, or you have to have it this way. So it does get a little frustrating trying to pose him. Like I found myself like trying to look for dynamic poses and I keep putting him back in the same pose. So that you might find the same problem with that I do. A couple things like the head, you know, flipping into the chest, you have to use pretty much a tool to get the head back out. But outside of that, I can still ultimately recommend him because he is relatively affordable and he's also a lot of fun and he is pretty cool. The only part that isn't fun is those legs. I would imagine that the more you do it, the more comfortable you become with it, but it is frustrating. It's also a lot easier to go from gun mode to robot mode, but that's not the way he comes packaged, so that's not the way that I review him. So yeah, articulation's pretty good across the board. There is a lot of paint on them, both on the elbows, legs, feet, etc. We have some translucent plastics in there and stuff to kind of break out the sculpt. The whole backpack is painted. I like the little hose thing. The transformation is 75% fun, and it's a pretty cool little bot. So yeah, I recommend it. Thanks again to Robert for letting me take a look at him, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.